Welcome to Inside the Artist's Mind with your hosts, Jay Harmon and Sally Bernard. Jay and Sally have always wondered what the inspiration is that drives others to create and express their art. Inside the Artist's Mind, we'll dive into the mind of the artist and teach us more than we ever knew. Enjoy the show!
Hi, and welcome to Inside the Artist's Mind. This is the show where we delve inside creative artists and what they do and how they create, where they get their ideas and what they put together and what the final product is going to be. And we try to talk to them about a little of the creative things that they do. And my name is Jay Harmon. I'm the host of the show today. Sally Bernard is still not here. I think she'll be back next week. And my very special guest today is Mr. Piano himself, Johnny Melnick. And welcome.
Nice, Jay. Thanks for having me.
So, we're very happy to have you here. And, this gentleman is fantastic on the piano, and he's like booked all the time. So, anyway, we'd like to kind of start by asking you, how did you kind of get started in the music biz, and what happened there?
Well, the music biz comes a long time after I started. I started when I was a kid. My mother's doing 7. I was 7 years old, and if you can believe it, there was a guy going around the neighborhood, door to door, selling accordions.
Oh, really?
Talk about an optimist. So they happened to knock on my door. Then our neighbor had 3 kids, and I think they bought one.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother, in the early days of suburban living, was not to be outdone. So she thought it would be a good idea. I don't think the house had room for a piano at the time. So an accordion set fit the bill, and she's of Italian heritage anyway. So
I can't imagine that today. Somebody going door to door with accordions.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That was crazy. But so I was 7 years old, and I started on accordion lessons and played accordion all through high school. We had a band. I was an accordion player in a band in high school, and everybody else in the group and my friends went on to other things, and I was never able to escape from the joy of playing music. So yeah. I'm still here. Yeah,
you still ever play the accordion?
I have one. Yes, I do.
You do?
I did not have one for quite a few years, and I was working on a ship in Marseille, France. I'll never forget it. And we're walking around town and enjoying Marseille, and I hear the sound, and I followed the muse, and there was a young teenage girl playing the accordion. And I said at that moment, I said, well, it's time. So that when I get back to the States, I'm going to get an accordion. And I found
I think that accordion music kind of went by the wayside after Lawrence Welk. I think.
Well, yeah, I think he kind of killed it for everybody. Yeah. I don't know, but because the kids were playing rock and roll, but those of us who were playing kind of stayed with it, and we played.
Well, I remember it was brought back for a while by Weird Al Yankovic. I mean, he did some great stuff with it because his father was an accordion, Frank Yankovic.
Okay.
And,
that's his
dad. Yeah.
I did not know that was his dad.
Yeah, and so that was the connection there. And then he just learned the accordion, and he went with it and did the comedy bit.
Yeah.
And
that was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun.
So. Then after accordion, what did you kind of?
I went to I enrolled in a Berkeley School of Music, and they basically threw me out for bringing an accordion, bringing an accordion with me, and they said no, we don't. They actually said they didn't recognize the accordion as a musical instrument.
Really?
And half the world plays accordions. Europe.
Oh yeah, in Germany, I mean that's like the main instrument.
How could you say that? But I felt right then and there that was not for me. That school was not for me, and I wanted to go for composition anyway. And I went back home to Long Island, and went to the phone book and found a classical piano teacher. The writing was on the wall to make the switch, and I found a wonderful gentleman, Bernard Scott, who I told myself I would study for 5 years and see if I could make the transition from accordion to piano.
Right.
And I stayed with him for 8 years, and I just
So how, I mean, was the,
still a student.
since you have that, that musical germ, I mean, it, or whatever you want to call it.
It's a germ.
Was it very difficult to change from accordion to piano?
Well,
to the
still, the right hand is right hand versus left hand. The right hand I had the tortoise and the hare here. The right hand was the hare, and the left hand was the tortoise. So I had to slow it all down together and
make it kind of the same.
I'm still working at it. It's a lifetime study,
Really?
just like art.
That's like art. You
like
never
art,
you never perfect it. You just keep
do
it until you
right. You just
you
keep
you
going.
learn all the time. I know.
Keep going.
I know. It's,
That's the interest of it, though. I mean, my friends are starting to retire. What? There's no
how do you retire if you're an artist? That's what one of my questions has always been. If you're an artist, how do you retire? My career as being a professional artist started after I retired from being a teacher. And so this is where I've gone now. I can't retire from this. I mean, it's me. It's in me.
Right.
And
well, why would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Now you're free. Now you're free to do it the way you want to. And,
and so it's great. And I would say anybody out there, if you have any kind of creative ability and you want to keep going even after you retire, just keep going. Don't stop, because there's so much to do. There's so many things that you can really continue with and maybe even get better at. And you can always get better.
It's a lifetime study.
Yeah. So now, what is your kind of thing that you do in your career now? Where are you going now with everything?
I'm spending more time, writing and creating and recording. I'm learning the recording process, which is a whole other ball of wax. But the cost of going into a studio to record is it's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive with no guarantee of.
Right, because you're just basically renting the studio time.
Yeah,
right?
you're renting the studio time and using their equipment. I mean, recording studios invest an awful lot of money in equipment and effects and microphones and all kinds of things like that. So they have every right to charge money to do that. But nowadays with software, digital software, I've got a studio in my house. On my computer.
Same like me. I mean, yeah.
Right, on my computer. So I spend, I map out. I don't know if I don't really feel I'm making records. I'm not making records at the house. I need other people's help. The technical years need to be put in before I can, really create a finished product. And you need the equipment as well. The mastering equipment, compressors, it's like limiters, it's endless. Chasing the sound you might want to do. So I'm just writing songs. I'm writing songs. I'm ready to hand them over to other artists. I want other artists to sing my songs. I'm getting to the point where I don't want to do that. I don't even want to do that. I mean, I can go out and play. Here and there, but I think some of the songs I'd love to give to. Have other people do them.
Well, that'd be great.
I'm wide open. I'm open for business.
It's the same with an artist. You want to share what you do.
Right.
And
it's not all about me.
Right.
That's the thing.
That's it with being an artist. People don't understand that. The artist isn't the star of the show. It's what they can produce. You know?
Bingo. It's the music that's
Right.
important. It's the
Right.
music. I said, well, you're gonna meet a lot of girls, and you're gonna make. Well, first of all, the money hasn't. It's not been the impetus.
Yeah.
Making the same money in the clubs that I made when I was 18 years old. If you're
Yeah.
planning for your future, think about it a little
Yeah.
more. So if you're doing it for other reasons, other than you love the music, you don't waste your time.
Yeah. Well, that's it. And that's what I try to talk to artists about too, is that if you love doing artwork, then you're doing the right thing. If you don't love it and you're just doing it because you want to make money on it, good luck. You know, that's how I feel about it.
If you're lucky, if you're lucky and good, that might bring some money in. I'm posting my songs up online, and the way the system is, the business is very different than when I was young and we were doing. People wrote songs, and they came to find you. The business kind of found you. Today, you're submitting music to companies who have the first right of refusal, and it seems that they're to me, if you put a song on Spotify,
right?
This Spotify, the big one. You need possibly 300,000 plays to put $100 in your pocket.
Really?
Is that kind of any inspiration
wow.
for somebody to slave over music? And it's really not, you know.
Yeah.
So
that's where the record industry is different today, right? Than it used to be.
that's why you see a lot of the artists, even the older artists, they're on tour.
Yeah.
They have to play live. They have to go out and play
They have
live and
to,
tour.
because it's just not enough to get airplay.
Exactly.
Right? So they're
Don't even know what the airplay is. But yet the industry is buying Bob Dylan's music for $300 million.
yeah. Yeah.
The old songs,
Yeah.
because they know how to monetize that. They don't know how to monetize a new song.
So it's easier to do that with the classic music. I don't mean classical, I mean classic.
Classic rock.
Right.
Bruce Springsteen just sold his for $1 gazillion.
Yeah.
Sold his
Yeah,
catalog.
I mean, you know, and look at like Paul McCartney. Look what he's doing. And,
yeah. Music
everything there.
publishing.
Yeah, and he's the whole. I mean, he's got the whole business, right? I mean, he does the whole.
I think he owns "Hail to the Chief." I think it's one of the songs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's.
I think so.
You know, he's. But some of these people have done so well. But you know, the music industry is still very much alive, and I would not say that it's that it's ever going to because people love music.
Yeah, well, they should. I mean, it's helpful for our lives.
Mm-hmm.
It's helpful. I was talking about the song "Positive Direction" that I wrote, and it's kind of the tip of the spear for my music catalog. And
Yeah.
I feel it has tremendous potential to motivate people, to keep their spirits up.
Yeah. Is it possible we can play a cut from that?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you?
We have Positive
You have
Direction.
Positive Directions?
You got to move in a positive direction. You got to move
Okay, that was great. That was fantastic. Tell me a little bit about that video where the music and everything came together with that. That's really
Well,
good.
Baxton Sumner put that video together,
Uh-huh.
and he did a great job.
He really
He did a
did.
great job. Yeah.
And so the song itself is pretty much a positive, upbeat.
I had a,
thing,
I
right?
had
I
a,
mean,
I had the song. Yeah, the song came about when I had a band member who was getting in trouble with drugs at the time,
uh-huh.
and I wrote that for him.
Wrote that for him.
Yeah.
I hope it helped.
I don't know if you ever knew it when he was playing it. He
Uh-huh.
was playing it on stage. I hope it. But that song, I've seen it. We played that in front of a live audience, and I
Right.
can't tell you the energy factor was just through the roof. And
Oh, I'll bet. I
and,
bet the audience is really,
Wow.
really into it, right? Yeah.
Wow, it's a suggestion of positivity.
Uh-huh. We
that
all need
people are
that.
thirsting for.
You know,
It
yeah.
really
we,
is. There
we
are certain
really,
things that
really need that, and that's those kind of positive messages that you get, I think are really good for all of us to hear all the time. You know,
Without a
and-
doubt, without a doubt. That song. I'll never get tired of that.
Yeah.
I don't see. Everybody go out there. It's on Spotify and Apple Music. Go download it. Just put it in your playlist.
Yeah.
Listen to it in the morning when you get out of bed, and
Yeah. Positive
go
direction by
go
Johnny
kick
Melnick.
the world in the behind.
Right.
There you go.
You know, it'll make you feel, like you're ready to go, and so that's good. Now, other than that, you've had some work doing cruise ships, and you're doing all these other.
It's been
just all over the place,
really
right?
an interesting musical life.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I've seen a lot of the world that were just picture postcards to me,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it's been and the people I've met along the way has been a blessing as well.
Oh, I'll bet that's great. You
Yeah.
see so many different people, and
Oh yeah,
and
all over the world. People I worked with.
uh-huh.
I mean, I can go to India and have a place to stay.
Really? Yeah. So, and you probably find a lot of similarities in all the different cultures or the different people from around the world.
Jay, Americans should travel.
I know. Yeah.
We don't necessarily travel because our country is so big. We have a lot of ground to cover right here.
Right.
But around the world, the story is the same. People are just raising their kids.
Right.
That's all they want to do.
So they just, yeah,
So all this
Just wanna live their life,
other
right?
stuff
yeah.
with the bombs and the all of that, and that's the fiction.
Yeah.
The reality is that people are just raising their kids and they want a calm,
Right.
peaceful life.
Right. And that's a thing that I think that, regardless of all the other stuff you hear, I think that's a common thing that we have. I don't care what country you go to.
Right.
I think that people want to have their families. They want to just do what and move in a positive direction.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Every time I hear somebody say those two words together, I just like,
Yeah.
come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I'm going to do good things with the money, folks.
And
Don't be shy.
so I think that that goes as well for other artists as well as visual artists or musical artists or anybody. If they want to move ahead, they have to have this positive train of thought. This
I believe that. I'm drawn to that. I mean, identifying a negative situation is important.
Yeah.
To see something that might give you pause for thought.
Right.
But then you got to get a shovel and dig out of it. And keep going. you
Right.
know.
Right. You see people who are just down on on what they do, or they're just down on themselves, and everything is so negative. But you can turn that around. I don't care. I mean, you can turn that around. It might take some work, but there's always find something that you love to do, and whatever it takes to do it, just follow that. And if you're passionate about it, you're going to succeed in it. And that's kind of my philosophy.
That's what I told my kids. I said, I don't care if you like to sweep the floor. If you love to clean, if you love to clean up, you're going to be. You end up owning a janitorial empire.
Right, right. If that's your passion.
If that's your passion.
Because everybody, my feeling is that everyone has been given a gift. It's our job to find that gift that we're passionate with and utilize it, and become successful with whatever that gift is.
Yeah, but the argument is, I'll never be able to make a living doing that. That's not true. Not necessarily true.
Not necessarily true, and but still keep doing whatever your passion is. Right. I mean, you may be working in an office, and you're saying, "Well, I'm never going to get rich here, typing every day and doing that." But do something else at home. I mean, you got to have some time to do what you love.
Right.
You can't just be in because I'll tell you that's.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
How does it feel? You came out of a teaching work situation,
right?
And now you're set loose into the arts.
Oh yeah.
How different is that?
It's a lot different because what I'm able to do now, I create my art with the feeling that this is what I want to do. It's not what I'm having to do for for somebody else, or just. I mean, I still love teaching. I still teach in after school. I still do that because I love to work with kids. Mm-hmm. And that's the real reason why I'm still doing it. It's not because I want to be a teacher so much as I just like to work with the kids and see them get it. Mm. And so when I'm doing my own artwork, it's just the experience that I just love it. And am I going to get rich doing it? I don't even think about that. Well, I do think about that, but I mean, it's not a thing that monopolizes where I go, because I just do it because it's a passion.
Great.
And
you share it.
And I think that most people, if you have something that you're passionate about, don't just put it aside. Keep it, even if you got to keep it in the back of your mind. Just dig it up every now and then and do something with it, because if you're passionate about it, you're just wasting it if you're not doing something with it. And I really feel that. So anyway, Johnny, it's been a pleasure having you on the show here today.
Thanks a lot.
And and we really appreciate it. We appreciate your music, and folks, I hope you get to listen to some of Johnny's music. Go to Spotify and
John Melnick,
and listen
YouTube,
to Positive Direction. Yeah. And so anyway, we would like to encourage everybody out there, if you are creative in any kind, any style, anything you do, you have a passion for doing anything, we'd love to talk to you. Please get in touch with us here at the show at 1-888-994-4995. And we'd be more than happy to interview you, talk to you about what it is that you do. So until next time, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Bye.
There's a girl living in this town, I see her. When she comes around, she was in love with a man, that's what they say. And the stranger took on her love as he stood there, looking down from above. goes on. She just goes on. She just goes on.
Thank you for watching Inside the Artist's Mind. We hope you enjoyed the show. Tune in next week as we explore more about the artist's passions and inspirations.